Sunday, September the 21st, and my 53rd day in China. It's raining. It's about 7:45 in the morning, and I'm heading on the road towards the border to at least Mengla tonight. Maybe I might go a bit further, and then hopefully cross over into Laos tomorrow morning. Well, I suppose it couldn't be my last day in China without one last lengthy tunnel. Well, after the tunnel, there is a God. Good old China, keeping the best to last. I've just stopped here for lunch, and they've just had about 20 people in, maybe a bit more. The amount of waste and the amount of rubbish that restaurants produce, plastic bags, bits of paper for the chopsticks. It's coming up to 5 o'clock, and I didn't stop at Mengla. It was about 1 o'clock. I had a quick lunch and carried on. So I think I'm about 5 kilometers from Mohan, which is the border town where I will be stopping for the night. It's 7:40 on Sunday, September the 21st. I'm in Mohan just before the border. I got here about 5 o'clock, and I'm now just about to have dinner with a very important dinner guest. And I'm having dinner outside. It's a pleasant evening, and the man up there is cooking my dinner, or at least he was. Well, for my last meal in China, there could only be one dinner guest. He was the only one available. And for my final meal, I'm having rice, aubergine, and pork. Sorry, pig. Well, for my last meal in China, that was excellent. It was pork with chilies and pepper, so it was quite hot. And in fact, all the Chinese meals I've had have been hot in terms of chilies. But it was delightful, absolutely wonderful, and the aubergine was fantastic. Because it was pork, pig wasn't hungry. It's Monday, September the 22nd, my 53rd day in China, and this is Mohan. Quite a nice little town, and obviously the first town that anyone that comes through the border sees. Anyway, I'm now off to the border in that direction, and hopefully into Laos. This is how the Chinese signal the border. It's the end point in 1 kilometer. If only all Chinese towns and cities were like this. Very attractive buildings. No high rise. Here is the end point, the end of China. Here we go. Well, that's Zhejiang, China. And this is the customs post for Laos. And my rather worn out Chinese flag is coming down. And it's now Sabadi, Laos. And look at that, the sun's come out just as I leave the border post. My first Lao village. Certainly the villages are a bit of a culture shock. I'm about an hour into Laos, and it's certainly less hilly and less cultivated. Well, this is my first real sight of Laos. This is Namo, my first night in Laos. And that's where I'm staying, in that guest house. Opposite the guest house is the village. Okay, it's Monday the 22nd, it's just coming up to 2 o'clock. I've stopped today inside Laos, and it's beer o'clock. And here is beer Lao. At 5% volume, it's got to be better than the Chinese beer. Well, after a pleasant beer and a pleasant lunch, I'm just having a wander round at No Ma. Not much to it. It's Tuesday the 23rd of April. No, it's not. It's Tuesday the 23rd of September at just after 7 o'clock. And it's my first morning in Laos, and it's raining, but they did say it's the rainy season. Well, I'm about 10 minutes into my ride and I am soaked, absolutely soaked. This rain is relentless, and it's also incredibly heavy, but the locals and the local school children that have to walk to school, they seem to take it in their stride, and the ducks like it as well. They have a long walk to school somewhere over that hill. It's just over about 1.5 miles to the school, and note how many are being given lifts in cars. None. You do get the odd mudslide and obstacle in the road. This is my first hill climb of the day from down there. Another landslide. Not too sure what this man's doing, but he is some new development going on here in this village. That's a new house. And stalls. Sabida! Did I say the other day that Laos was less hilly than Yunnan? How stupid is that? I've just stopped here for some food, and here we have a little Lao girl and a little Lao blonde boy. I think there's some doubt about his parentage, I would think. Well, this shopkeeper here has caught herself something. I don't know what it is. It's not a. It doesn't look like a rat, but it's obviously a rat-like thing they've caught. I'm just arriving in Oudomxai, which is the first major town that I will come across in Laos.